As an enthusiast, I'm definitely disappointed with the change in the cubic capacity, because they've definitely lost out on the soul, you know, the whole grunt, the whole spark that we have always associated with KTM motorcycles. Yeah, I honestly did not have the heart to get on board the new Duke 390 with the same 350cc engine. In fact, I was about ready to find a corner and cry my heart out at the impending death of my beloved Duke. But luckily, all hope is not lost. Now, don't get me wrong, this has the exact same 349cc engine, which is a result of a shorter stroke, which means that you have definitely lost the mid-range. It makes the same 41.5 PS of power, 33.5 Newton meters of torque, but it doesn't really get going until 6,000 RPM. So yeah, it sounds very familiar to the 390 Adventure, right? But therein lies the difference, because you see, this one weighs all of 168 kgs wet. That's a colossal 13 kgs lighter than the 390 Adventure. And if you also look at the bodywork, it's a lot shorter, a lot slicker, so there's a lot less drag, which means when you crack open the throttle, it accelerates with a lot more gusto, even though it has 3 fewer teeth on the rear sprocket compared to the 390 Adventure. And after 6,000 RPM, when you see it get into its stride, the smile that you thought you had lost forever finally makes a dashing comeback. And what makes this experience so exhilarating is, of course, also the improved bidirectional quick shifter, which sees you just run through the gears like a man possessed. A speed fest which you can truly enjoy with reckless abandon, knowing that you can brake even before your brain can compute what happened. Now that's the flex of the Supermoto mode on the Duke 390, which allows you to harness the full potential of the stupendous braking setup that you have with the sintered brake pads, the radial calipers, and the one secret ingredient which has been missing in the Duke's arsenal since the OG Duke 390: sticky tires. So these W-rated Apollo Alpha H1s may not allow you to set wet roads on fire like I did when I rode the original Duke 390 shod with the W-rated Medzilla M5s, but they definitely have enough and more grip to turn the Duke 390's almost decade-long handicap into its WMD. Corners is what the Duke 390 has been sculpted for. And now with the sticky tires, you can finally use the scalpel and exploit it where it truly excels. It dissects corners like a hot knife through butter. And with 183 mm of ground clearance, you now have enough cornering clearance to charge into corners like it's your birthright. Man, have I missed this. And that's the crazy part, because you're just about skimming the surface of its true potential. Because the adjustable WP suspension means that you can tune the scalpel to the T. With just a few clicks, the Duke can go from a corner killer, perfect weapon to decimate corners, into a pothole devouring hovercraft. That's how good the ride quality is when you set up the suspension correctly. And not just that, you get also the other stuff, like all the electronic aids that now the Duke 390R gets. With the 6-axis IMU, you get cornering ABS, you get traction control, you get a bidirectional quick shifter, you get cruise control. And that for me just makes its 2.77 lakh price tag almost impossible to believe. My only gripe with this machine is its 800mm seat, which is stupid tight in terms of the rider's triangle for tall riders. Also, despite the drop in the cubic capacity, the mileage hasn't really improved that much. It's very similar to the 398cc engine. And also for some weird reason, it seemed to stall quite a lot in the track mode in the lower revs. And as was the case with the 390 Adventure, the tractability isn't really the best, especially when you're riding around in the city. It doesn't like to go slow, it likes revs. But that is something I don't mind because this is supposed to be a sporty naked. It likes to be revved. And when you rev it, you do get the KTM experience, the KTM Chespa, which we thought we had lost for good after riding the 390 Adventure. So yes, it most definitely on the engine front, not gonna make you pee your pants every time you open the throttle, but with the kind of capability which the sticky tires have unlocked, this Duke 390 with a new 350cc engine will definitely make you laugh out loud every time you ride it, and then some more, looking at its 2.77 lakh price tag.